Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, October 7th, 2013, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Of course, this is the aftermath of Battleground. But despite that, we had a lot of things mentioned for tonight's Raw heading towards the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. We have two matches made, including a match I knew was going to happen after last night's pay-per-view that I said in my review last night of Battleground and my Tech Sports today. Plus a little added stipulation in that. Plus a return was announced. And okay action tonight. But first, we had a little bit of a business to take care of, stemming from last night's Battleground ending, which involved Big Show knocking everybody out in sight. Knocking out the referee. Knocking out Daniel Bryan. They're knocking out the second referee, Scott Armstrong. They're knocking out Randy Orton. Which led to the no contest. Which I heard was to prevent any leaks. But what I'm hearing. But we would start out with Stephanie McMahon wanting Big Show to come out and answer the question. Why did he did what he did last night? And Stephanie was furious at Big Show for his actions. But of course, I predicted it exactly on the money. On my review last night about Battleground, I said, when I saw Big Show come down to the ring and knock out Daniel Bryan, I knew exactly why he did it. He was forced to by Stephanie McMahon and Triple H calling Brad Maddox because they weren't there. They wanted Maddox to save the show, and that's what they did. Maddox told Big Show to knock out Daniel Bryan, but it was actually Stephanie and Triple H telling Brad Maddox themselves to tell the Big Show to knock out. Daniel Bryan said he did what he was told, but he did what he wanted by knocking out Randy Orton, and he wasn't sorry for what he did. And of course, Stephanie had this whole financial shit out of the way, and he called Brad Maddox a puppet, and he was saying, I don't care anymore about you, Stephanie. I was like, please, wish there was still TV14. He says the word bitch to her. We're gonna still send the word bitch to her, saying that he works for you and that son of a bitch of your husband. I was like, yeah! So, although I hate the fact he bleeped balls during CM Punk and Ryback's promo tonight. Anyway, after that diss, Stephanie slapped the hell out of Big Show and saying, what are you going to do, Show? Huh? You going to cry? You saw that repeated throughout the evening, saying, you ain't going to do nothing. You're going to get fired. That's what happened. Big Show got fired. I'm hearing Vince may come back soon, so he may get rehired, but although Big Show was kicked out of the building, as you would see on the title, a little hint of what would happen, that the Big Show, we may not see the last of the Big Show tonight. And indeed, we wouldn't. But until then, on with our first matchup. And it's just me, or is there a lot of Battleground rematches tonight? Sort of. Our first kind of a Battleground rematch stemmed from the pregame, as Damien Sandow had another match with Dolph Ziggler. Of course, Sandow blames Ziggler for kind of costing him the opportunity to cash in Money in the Bank last night on either WWE or RVD following the hardcore match by Ziggler taking out his knee. So Sandow wanted redemption and wanted a little bit of a sweet revenge and avenging his loss to Ziggy, and went straight fisting, fighting, punching in the fences. Like coming right out of the gate, swinging for the fences against Ziggler and taking control for the early half of the matchup with his methodical moves and of course nailing not one but two elbows of disdain. But of course the show off was indeed showing up by getting back in the game with his own finesse style of drop kicks and big nasty moves. But indeed, with the crowd on their feet for Ziggy, Damien didn't care, and Damien tried to come back midway towards the match and try to get that avenge the loss that he'd been wanting. But in the end, different night, same results. Ziggler nailing the big zigzag and a 1-2-3 victory for Dolph Ziggler, pinning Mr. Money in the Bank for the second night in a row. He kind of took the knee out a little bit tonight. but not as bad as he did last night at Battleground. So there you go. Ziggy, actually, he didn't nail the zigzag. He nailed this other move he's been using a lot lately. The Famouser. So like I said, Sandel didn't really, I think he didn't really sell the injury that much, but still, Ziggler got the victory. Second night in a row. Over. Indeed. Damien Sandow. Now on with our next match, a Divas match. A 6 Divas tag involving the Total Divas, of course, Natalya teaming up with the Bella Twins. Actually, not against the Bella Twins. It was actually Natalya, Eva Marie, and JoJo taking on Oksana, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez. Typical Divas match, short match. Sharpshooter victory. Natalya gets a win for a team. Let's move on. No AJ. But, need to mention something before I move on here. It's weird to see Big Show get storyline fired again, because it was the same exact building got fired 2 years ago by John Laurinaitis, which led to the heel turn by aligning himself with Laurinaitis at Over the Limit back in 2011, when it was all about people power. So there you go. Now, Bad Maddox was initially put the blame on by Stephanie. It was all Maddox's fault that Big Show did what he did and ruined the main event last night. And he was kind of forced by Stephanie to apologize and make this right. And I predicted it right on the bat that there would be. I said I hated the ending. It was kind of a screwy way to end the pay-per-view. No new WWE champion. But it would set up a possible another match between D-Bry and Randy Orton in the match that it should end in a Hell in a Cell. That's what exactly is going to happen. Bad Maddox made the match Hell in a Cell for the vacant WWE Championship. Randy Orton taking on Daniel Bryan. Like I said earlier, there was one added stipulation. There would be a special guest referee. No, thank God it's not going to be Triple H. Thank goodness. Instead, it would be a fan-chosen WWE Hall of Fame referee. 3 choices from the app. First choice was Booker T. Second choice, why? Bob Backlund. I heard he was at Battleground last night saying hi. Maybe that was why he was at Battleground to negotiate to appear on Raw. But the third choice in the man that was the eventual winner, and it makes a whole lot of sense, makes this more intriguing because of his connections with everybody in this situation. He has feuded with Randy Orton before. He traded Daniel Bryan. And of course, he is personally Triple H's best friend, of course. DX member, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels was your third choice and the eventual winner. Now, the only thing I hated was the fact that Bob Backlund got more votes than Booker T. That's sad, because Bob Backlund got no reaction at all. This crowd in Pittsburgh sucked tonight, by the way. Bad crowd in Pittsburgh. No one cheered for Bob Backlund. They don't give a fuck about him. And he got more votes than Booker T. That's sad. The Booker T got 6%. I think that was rigged. I think WWE wanted to make Bob Backlund not feel bad about getting crickets when he came out. So there you go. Now, our next match, a tag match involving the Job Squad. Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre taking on Primo and Epico. Diego and Fernando Los Matadores. When of course the little ball in Spanish, of course, it's named El Torito, who was kind of hitting on Renee Young last night during the pregame show. I forgot to mention that in the Battleground review. Anyway, very short match, easy, because it's the Job Squad, Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre, 3MB. I call them the Job Squad because they jobbed everybody. And Primo and Epico, Los Matadores, they basically got a quick win with the great double team moves and quick tagging in and out, which went towards the ending with a double team move on Drew McIntyre. That was a great double team move. Nice to see him back as a new gimmick, but still. Then after the match, El Torito was being taunted to be attacked by Heath Slater until Heath Slater got Hurricanrana by El Torito. Boy, did he sell that, because he got tossed out of the ring by El Torito. He sold a Hurricanrana by a little person who is a bull in a costume. At least we know he's stronger than Hornswoggle. So there you go. Los Matadores gets the victory. Now on with our next segment, which involved Paul Heyman, of course. Paul West, Cuckoo, along with his two Heyman guys, Curtis Axel and Goldberg. Bully. Needs to be fired. Ryback. His big, beautiful, bad Ryback, as Heyman would say. Say that I beat Punk, but Punk beat Ryback. I beat by cheating, of course, the low blow after Heyman tried to cheat by getting the candlestick involved, and that plan backfired. With the referee distracted to make Heyman put the candlestick away, that's what enabled Punk to do the low blow. But it's like, indeed, after Heyman started blabbing, here comes CM Punk. Saying that, well, you challenge me to a rematch or what, man? Sounds like it to me. We'll do it anytime you want. Tonight, tomorrow, even Hell in a Cell. Looked like a handicap match to me. But then here comes R-Truth. So we had a little bit of a battleground rematches. We had R-Truth getting another opportunity to get his hands on Curtis Axel. And Ryback to get his hands again on CM Punk. Which led to an impromptu tag team match. Which, like I said, I thought was going to be a handicap match. But thankfully it wasn't a handicap match. It was a tag match. Of course, Punk took on Ryback last night. Truth against Axel. Now we had this rematch against these four guys. And basically, the Heyman guys took control for the early half of the matchup, really isolating R-Truth and their corner. With the quick tags in and out, specifically Ryback doing all the dirty work, doing all the damage on R-Truth in the early half of this matchup, manhandling him and giving him the stiffest moves you ever can feel. Like, you look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar hits you. Brock Lesnar's not stiff when he does this move. Like, Brock Lesnar's hits are like, ugh. And then Ryback's hits are like, I'm trying to do it. Like, Ryback's hits are like loud as hell and stiff as hell. You know, just Ryback. Because Ryback can wrestle. That's why the fans chant, you can wrestle. Ryback just likes to beat people up. Tough guy. Anyway, USA. I love the Axel on Jim Duggan. Anyway, back to the match at hand. R-Truth, after getting his ass whipped for the early part of this match with Axel and Ryback, really decently okay working together. Quick tagging, of course, having Ryback do all the dirty work. R-Truth got a nasty move with a big kick, which enabled the opportunity that enabled CM Punk to get the hot tag in, coming like a man possessed, double teaming everybody, with Axel coming in with some big moves and swinging that breaker on Axel, going up for the running knee, and he was attempting the GTS on Axel, which he did connect, but before Punk could get the pin on Axel, Ryback would come in to prevent the count, and then R-Truth took out Ryback. So Ryback out of the equation, and Paul Heyman squinting like a fool. Punk, instead of pinning Axel, he wanted R-Truth to get the pin in the finish to give advantage on losing the IC title match last night. So R-Truth set him up for the What's Up and the 1-2-3 victory for R-Truth and CM Punk. Now Truth gets another match against Axel one-on-one for the IC Championship this Friday on SmackDown. We'll see if R-Truth actually wins the match. Now we're in the next match involving another man who fought at the pay-per-view last night. Two men actually fought pay-per-view last night. Not against each other, but these two had a feud a few years ago. It was Kofi Kingston against Randy Orton. This was Kofi Kingston. This is probably the closest to a push Kofi ever got when he had that feud with Randy Orton. I thought after that feud he was really going to get a big, nasty, big, giant push. But that never happened. So we had these two fighting up again. I remember Kofi put paint on Randy Orton's race car. That was just add on to the feud. Basically, Randy Orton was in a foul mood after getting screwed out of the WWE Championship last night with that no contest finish where he got knocked out by Big Show, so the D-By and all that, like I mentioned earlier. So Randy Orton wanted to take his frustration and anger out on anybody. And Kofi just so unfortunately happened to be that unfortunate victim of a Randy Orton attack as the Viper, the Apex Predator, whatever nickname they give him this week. They're back to being the Viper, not the Apex Predator. Because the Viper's back out because of Stephanie Triple H making him go back to that place. The place with the voices in his head really scream. Anyway, Orton was basically on the loose for this early half of the matchup. Really dominant. Actually, Kofi tried to come at the early half of the matchup, but indeed, he was still recovering from his loss against Bray Wyatt last night, which gave Randy Orton the advantage after Kofi had an early offensive fury. Orton indeed was on the loose, taking the hell out of Kofi, nailing him outside the ring, even delivering at one point in the match the Hangman DDT on the barricade, like he did the Miz and other people too. But despite the beating, Kofi did try for his big moves. He did. I like the series of events when he ducked the RKO, then Orton ducked the Trump in Paradise. But and also ducked the SOS as well. Orton did. But Orton did get the SOS from Kofi for a near fall. But despite Kofi's best efforts, the pain he suffered from that match against Bray got the best of him. That's when Orton did try to Hangman DDT at once. And that's when he fought outside the ring. I thought it was going to be a double count out, but it never happened. And that's when indeed the Hangman DDT happened on the barricade, which led towards the big finish, the RKO in the ring. And the 1-2-3 victory for Randy Orton, sending a big message to Daniel Bryan for the match not this Sunday, but in 3 weeks at Hell in a Cell. Well, Daniel Bryan wanted to send a message right to Randy Orton's face. Following the match, Daniel Bryan came from the crowd and started brawling with Randy Orton, just beating the crap out of him. It was just a nasty brawl. And it took like a bunch of referees and agents and producers, including Finley and Jamie Noble, coming out to separate Orton and Daniel Bryan. They just couldn't be separated. Just wanted to beat the crap out of each other. That's why it's necessary for this Hell in a Cell match to happen. This feud's gotten so intense and personal. And you gotta have a man like Shawn Michaels come out and be your special guest referee. And it went on until Orton ran to the back with Daniel Bryan chasing after him. But let's say that this wouldn't be the last time we would see D-Bryan and Orton getting on with each other. In the ring. So, on with the next scenario. Thinking if I'm correct, it was another match. Another match is probably next. I'm trying to remember what match was next. I kind of have a suspicion. Oh, yeah! Exactly. Bill Del Rio was in a match, last-minute match made by his SmackDown GM, Vicky Guerrero. Of all people, Ricardo Rodriguez. Makes sense as RVD's not there. Now, RVD lost to a Bill in a great Extreme Rules match last night, but RVD, I've been hearing rumors about his contract being up, his short-term contract up, and they wind him out by that. And even RVD said in an on-screen interview that he was going to take some time off, so that's how they're winding him off. Yeah, then he's taking a break, then his contract is up. But besides, like I said, there was 2 matches made for Hell in a Cell tonight. Randy Orton against Daniel Bryan, which a match I knew was going to happen for the WWE Championship. In Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels referee, didn't expect that. But yeah, another match be made for Hell in a Cell. Vicky Guerrero made that announcement right before the Alberto Ricardo match. I bet you the WWE board of directors were like, okay, so RVD's out. RVD's out. He's not going to get a rematch because he's done with the WWE for now. Who is next for Alberto Del Rio? A man who was a former WWE champion. A man who's so egomaniacal, he wants to be in any championship match no matter what. Even when he can't be in a WWE championship, he still wants to be in the center of attention. The man who's been out for months, and now he's been announced to come back in Hell in a Cell. A beat 3 months after he's got injured. I thought he was going to come back in the Royal Rumble. Might be Sheamus now, because he's been there, done that. Of course, I'm referring to The Super Cena's back in Hell in a Cell. Yes, it'll be John Cena against the WWE for the World Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Like I said, they have nothing better for Cena to do. They're like, Cena, we want to give you a title match, but since we don't want you in a WWE Championship match, we're going to let you squash up WWE. I mean, face up WWE. We want you to bury him. That's one thing. Cena's going to fucking win against WWE at Hell in a Cell. And that announcement did indeed take all of us, and especially WWE, by surprise. He got so distracted by that announcement, he forgot about the match with Ricardo. Ricardo, with that distraction, capitalized on it, getting a quick roll up, 1, 2, 3, for the victory, pinning his former boss, Del Rio. And as Ricardo was celebrating on the announce table, high-fiving Cole and King, he got tripped up by Alberto and causing a post-match attack, kneeling with a steel chair, and doing the same thing he did at RVD last night, putting on the cross-arm breaker where it was connected to a chair, smashing his arm in a chair, rigging it for the cross-arm breaker. So indeed, that's weird to see Cena coming back. That's what happened. Like, Alberto was very upset by the announcement. He basically sent his own message to the returning John Cena. It's like, wow. I didn't expect Cena to come back this soon, but I've been hearing rumors about him coming back in the Royal Rumble. I bet you they're going to save that for Sheamus now, since he's been out for a while. But I thought Cena's like, oh, I'm going to heal the amount of time. I'm not going to make a quick comeback too soon. Liar, liar. Ass on fire, Cena. Now in the next match, we have a man who used to be who got one big giant push and then went nowhere and is being jobbed a lot. Woo woo woo, Zack Ryder, against the man who could end up being like Zack Ryder. A man who got one big push and then would be jobbed until he gets fired. Of course, I'm referring to Fandango. That's what I'm fearing, that Fandango will end up like Zack Ryder. Like, you know, I feel bad for Zack Ryder, man. You know your career's going down the toilet when you job to everybody. And that also means jobbing to Fandango. Ryder did try to show some false hope by going for his big offensive moves, even trying to hit a Broski boot, but they missed it, which enabled Fandango to set him up for the big top rope leg drop and the 1-2-3 victory for Fandango. It was nice. It's been nice to see Zack Ryder on the wall lately. You know, it's the only good thing. I think Zack Ryder's been on the wall for the last couple of weeks. More than he's ever been in the last 6 months. So nice to see him on the wall again, but jobbed again as usual. And like I said, you know your career's down the toilet when you lose to Fandango. A man who could be like Zack Ryder someday. A jobber like Ryder. Anyway, I've been telling you there's been a lot of kind of battleground rematches with R-Truth and Punk getting another opportunity to face off against Axel and all back. We had Sandow against Ziggler rematch. Then we had another rematch of sorts. Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger, the Real Americans, taking on Great Khali and Santino again. It almost echoed last night's match all over again, with Swagger and Cesaro isolating Santino and double teaming and Great tagging in and out for the early having a matchup like the match last night. Even delivering the great double team move, which was the Swagger bomb by a leapfrog from Cesaro and the Warrior Stomp on Mr. Santino. The match was different and similar. There was no Cobra attack during the match by Santino or an attempt at the Cobra by Hornswoggle like what happened last night. But like the last night, Santino got the hot tag to Khali, and Khali took control with the big Khali chops and all that shit. But indeed, once again, like the match at Battleground, the Cesaro swing happened again to Khali in the 1-2-3 victory for Real Americans. This match was not necessary at all. You know, why was this match again? We saw it last night. Why not only do we have to see this match again, not just these same two guys facing up again, but almost in the exact same fucking match as last night. It wasn't fucking necessary. Anyway, it was dumb the way they put this match in. And the match ended, and after the match, Hornswoggle got dragged in by Cesaro and Swagger, and Even Hornswoggle went for the Cesaro swing until Khali came in. Actually, Santino came in with the Cobra, knocking out Cesaro, threatening to knock out Swagger until Swagger got a big chop from Khali. So there you go. That was stupid. Like I said, this match was just unnecessary to see these two wrestle. And once again, like last night, Cesaro and Swagger carried the match. Once again, just stupid to see this match happen again. Not just these two guys facing off again, but it's almost like the exact same fucking match. Now, on with our next little, speaking of little stupid, on with, well, at least an attempt at Miz TV. Miz came out, they set up everything. You know, they had the big M, you know, the upside down E, WWE logo, and he had the whole big screen, everything, and he was ready to conduct Miz TV, and he was going to basically have nobody be his guest. He's like, welcome to Miz TV! Then, all of a sudden, they're here. Here comes the Wyatts. Well, specifically, here comes Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt came out by himself at first, coming out with the lantern in the rocking chair. He was alone because Rowan and Harper came from the crowd and were in the ring when the lights came back on, and they basically fed on the Miz and took out the Miz, prematurely ending this Miz TV. He was trying to get at Bray Wyatt, but indeed, Bray Wyatt did not get physical with Miz. I think we got a feud building between Bray Wyatt and Miz. Since Bray Wyatt, I think, is done with Kofi Kingston, I think Miz is his next victim. Follow the buzzards, Miz. I think Bray Wyatt's goal is to squash all the mid-carders who will never get another shot at the championship again like Miz. And Kofi. And Ren's King coming back to take out the Wyatts. If he does, who knows. Now on with our 6-man tag main event. The Shield teaming up against the returning Cody Rhodes, Goldust with a new alteration on his new face paint, and Daniel Bryan. Now Triple H not wanting anything to mess up again, like last night with Brad Maddox messing everything up. Triple H came down to the ring personally to make sure that everything was best for business. And it was kind of good for him at one point as the Shield basically manhandled the hell out of Cody, isolating Cody in the corner with the big triple team and quick tagging moves from the beginning of this matchup. Despite, indeed, Cody was trying for his best moves. Even Goldust got tagged in eventually. But still, Cody got in after Goldust tagged in for a little bit. Then, of course, after the Shield, then Dale Dirty Work. The tags in and out, isolating Cody in the corner. And Cody trying to fight back with some big moves like a moonsault, trying to kick the hell out of Reigns. But then indeed, after Cody Rhodes was isolated and pummeled on, Cody needed a hot tag to anybody. But with Goldust taken out, there was only one other man he wanted to tag that he had to tag, and the fans and I knew the fans would want him, and I wanted him in. Daniel Bryan came in, and boom, here he goes. Wind him up, and he's ready to go. Fuming from his little blow radio, D-Bryan was like a house of fire with his big moves. Like, yes, he did a big splash and everything. And even the whole Kawana attempt. And then all the other Shield members got involved. Even Goldust got in to prevent Reigns from attacking D-Bryan. Then Goldust takes out Reigns and Rollins. And then Woman got in again. He got a disaster kick from Cody, which left D-Bryan in the ring with the legal man, which was Seth Rollins. Not Ambrose or anybody else. So D-Bryan was going for the yes lock on Mr. Rollins. And then Ambrose came in with a steel chair, nailing D-Bryan, breaking the hold before Rollins would tap out, ending the match in disqualification. Or so we thought. After we thought that we had a disqualification victory for D-Bryan, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust, Triple H wanted to make it best for business. And I was thinking in my mind, I was like, we're going to have 2 main events, 2 nights in a row, and screwy, with disqualification / no contest finishes. Thankfully, for Triple H's sake, the match restarted. And there was kind of a reason why this match restarted. So the match got restarted, no DQ. That's what D-Bry indeed did the big flying move, taking out the Shield. But then I had a sneaky suspicion that Randy Orton would come out and get involved in this matchup. Like I said, when D-Bry had his feud with Orton, like I said, this won't be the last time. That Brawl tonight wasn't the last time we would see Orton and D-Bry getting on with each other. And I thought that Orton was going to come out and indeed get involved, and boy, did he. He came from the crowd, RKO'd Daniel Bryan on the outside, and with D-Bry out, and also Cody Rhodes and Goldust taken out by the other members of the Shield. Rollins got back in the, actually, Randy Orton rolled Daniel Bryan back in the ring, and Seth Rollins got the 1-2-3 victory. It was no DQ. So thanks to the Randy Orton, the Shield gets the victory. But indeed, after the match, the Shield wasn't done. They were bringing up on all three, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Daniel Bryan. They were triple team on everybody. And I also said not only was that brawl not the last of we would see D-Bry and Orton, we would not see the last of the fired Big Show. As the Shield was triple teaming in a post-match attack on all three Orton and on all three Rhodeses, both Rhodeses and D-Bry. Here comes the Big Show, fire and all, wanting to finally get his hands on Triple H. But like a big Christmas pussy that he is, he would indeed hide behind the Shield. Big Show climbed into the ring. And of course, like a man holding a bone to try to make him catch him. I'm trying to go for an analogy here. I'm sorry I failed on that. The Shield, with a snap of Triple H's finger, went right at the Big Show. And Big Show tried to overrule the numbers, headbutting everybody. But indeed, Big Show indeed got pummeled in the end by the Shield with another, once again, taking the 3-on-1 attack. And I thought the numbers were going to outnumber Big Show, and I thought Big Show was going to get set up for the triple powerbomb. It looked like that to me. But then, just like that, Big Show, being the big man that he is, pushed all three members of the Shield aside. And he's been wanting this for a week, since he had finally had enough of this whole Triple H McMahon manipulation. And that's when he finally invented. That's what happened. That's why he did what he did last night to Orton. And he finally did what he's been wanting to do for not just a few weeks, but since he finally vented and rebelled last week. Knock out Triple H like he wanted to do last week, waiting in his locker room for 20 minutes until he got threatened by the cops last week with Triple H all alone. With no Shield since Big Show took him out. Bam! Big Show knocked out Triple H. And that's when Big Show left the ring. And with a pro Triple H, D-Bry got back in the ring with a big smile on his face, loving the fact that Triple H just got it. Triple H just got his. By getting knocked out by the Show. And that's how we end Raw with D-Bry celebrating knockout of Triple H by Big Show. Yes! Yes! On top of a fallen Triple H. So, who knows if Big Show will get rehired or not, but who knows. But nice to see Big Show finally rebel like everybody else and knock out Triple H. And Triple H getting his just deserves. So there we go. Big revenge night for Big Show and D-Bry laughing in the face of Triple H. And 2 matches added for Hell in a Cell. A match I knew was going to happen. D-Bry and Randy Orton 3 for the vacated WWE title. With Shawn Michaels as your special guest referee. Plus for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alberto Del Rio takes on the returning John Cena. No one on that match will be in Hell in a Cell or not. It could be. That is it for my WWE Raw review for tonight. I'll see you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great night and rest of your week, everybody. Yeah.